podcast is brought to you by Air Care One, Worldwide Air Ambulance Services. Call now.
Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bull Eagle J. Roos. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kelly and Andy McPhee.
Congratulations on that, man. That's really an amazing story, to share with the world. Since you brought up, how horses are used as tools unethically sometimes,
Yeah.
what is your perspective on this? Do you think rodeos help the cause, or do you think that it's just all about entertainment and not really ethical? What's your opinion?
I think it depends on how the horses are treated. I think that there are some events in rodeo that I don't like, that I oppose, but I think that the rough stock events, bronc riding and bull riding, I think that rodeo has evolved in a way where those animals are valued more than maybe they used to be. A lot of that has to do with the amount of money that is now available, prize money, and that rodeo contestants can win, but also the amount of money that is spent promoting rodeo. I think that rodeo as a sport has established itself as being very concerned about the welfare of the animals. And I'm especially talking about high-end rodeo events like the PBR, Professional Bull Riders, and the NFR, National Finals Rodeo. The animals that are competing at that level have to be treated well in order to compete. And I think that, if I had to, there's all sorts of sports and disciplines where animals are used for competition or entertainment. When I look at the PBR and the PBR's commitment to the welfare of bucking bulls, I kind of hold that out as an example of, an industry or a sport that has really done, I think, a really good job of promoting higher standards of welfare for their animals. And that's not to say that there isn't a conversation to be had about should we be having rodeos at all. I mean, that's a completely separate conversation.
Yeah.
But in terms of sports and industries that use animals for entertainment, competition, sport, or whatever, the PBR does a great job of. They have very strict rules, and when those rules are enforced, the consequences can be very meaningful. And they just are very transparent about their rules. And they're also transparent about how the bulls are treated, how those bulls live on a day-to-day basis. And, I have been involved with racing. I was on the Oregon Racing Commission where, we set policy for horse racing. And I took the position that, look, if horse racing had the same commitment to transparency and, having stringent rules that are designed to protect the welfare of the horse, if racing had that same level of commitment that bull riding does at the PBR, I don't think there would be the same level of public mistrust that currently exists with horse racing. I think horse racing still has a long way to go to, try and gain public trust, because people see horses breaking down on racetracks. They know that horses are being given, are being doped basically, and they don't support that. And they don't support a sport that engages in those kind of behaviors. So again, it's all about being committed to the welfare of the animal, but also being very transparent about how those rules are being applied and how they're being enforced and how those animals are living.
Please call Air Care One for Worldwide Air Ambulance Services. Brought to you by R&U.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long and I'm smarter than the average bear. Tee.